You didn't ask to be here. You weren't consulted. One day, you just woke up, mid-sentence, in a story you didn't write, and everyone around you smiled and called it a gift. But what if it wasn't a gift? What if it was a trapdoor? There's a dark philosopher most people are too scared to quote in public, David Benatar. He says, bringing someone into the world isn't an act of love. It's an act of harm dressed up in baby photos and balloons. Not because life is always miserable, but because it's always rigged against you.
The absence of pain is good, even if there's no one to enjoy that good.
This isn't just about ideas. It's about calling out the lie that trapped you and deciding what the hell you're gonna do with it now. Hey, rockers! Are you ready to rock? Let's rock that wisdom! Let's say your parents had a second child, but they miscarried before you ever knew. Did you cry over them never tasting birthday cake? Never kissing someone in the dark? No, because they didn't exist. And yet if that child had been born into war, abuse, cancer, a broken planet, that pain would have mattered. That's the asymmetry. Benatar's core argument is brutal in its simplicity. Not being born means no pleasure, but that's not bad. You can't miss what never was. Not being born also means no pain, and that is good. No suffering, no loss, no existential dread.
While the absence of pleasure is bad only if someone is deprived of it, the absence of pain is good, even if that good is not enjoyed by anyone.
Every birth is a gamble. There's no opt-out, no consent form. Just one person making a choice that another human will have to live with for decades. But maybe you're thinking, what about joy, love, art, pizza, beer? Isn't that worth something? What if I told you pleasure is just pain with better PR? Let's be honest, life does have moments. A perfect song in a shitty car. Cold beer by the pool. Perfect sex. But here's what Benatar throws in your face. Pleasure doesn't cancel pain. It just delays the next hit.
Although the presence of pain is bad, the presence of pleasure is not enough to outweigh it.
Imagine someone stabs you in the leg, then hands you cake. That's life. And you're supposed to say thank you because the frosting was good. Benatar's point is savage. Most pleasures exist just to make the pain tolerable. You're not transcending suffering, you're anesthetizing it. And worse, you become addicted to that anesthesia. You chase happiness not because life is good, but because without that next hit, you'd see the machine for what it is. But what if the real damage isn't even the pain? So maybe you get it now. Life hurts, and pleasure doesn't fix it. But still, people say, it's their choice to have kids. What's the harm? Benatar's answer, the harm is the child. Procreation isn't a neutral act, it's not flipping a coin. It's loading a gun with someone else's name on the bullet and hoping it never fires. You're not offering them a chance at happiness. You're dragging them into a game where pain is guaranteed and joy is optional.
Creating a person is morally problematic because of the serious harm that person will suffer.
Every life contains suffering. That's not a possibility. It's the entry fee. So when you create a new life, you're not giving a gift. You're handing someone a time bomb and whispering, hope it's not too bad. And here's the truth no one wants to say. Most people don't have kids for the kids' sake. They have them to fix themselves, to feel needed, to escape loneliness, to give their life meaning. That's not parenting. That's existential outsourcing. And if you think love makes it okay, remember, you can love someone and still fuck them up beyond repair. But if bringing someone into the world is this dangerous, what kind of psychological tricks do we use to convince ourselves it's all fine? So if life is pain and having kids is a risk, you'd think people would stop. But they don't. Why? Because we're wired to lie to ourselves about how good life really is. Benatar calls it the optimism bias, the brain's built-in PR department. You minimize your suffering. You exaggerate your joys. You look around at your job, your strained marriage, your crumbling mental health, and say, I'm lucky. Could be worse. Of course it could be worse. That's how traps work. They keep you grateful just long enough to stay inside.
People's assessments of the quality of their lives are unreliable. Most are not aware of how bad their lives are.
And the deeper tragedy? Even if you are aware, you'll still lie to protect the people who brought you here. You'll call it love, call it loyalty, call it culture, call it whatever the hell you want. But deep down, you know something's off. You've known since the first time someone told you you should be grateful to be alive, and your stomach sank. But even if all of this is true, you're still fucking here. Born, bleeding, awake. So now what? You've been born. You didn't ask for this. But here you are, and now you've seen the trap. And once you see the trap, you don't get to unsee it. Sorry about that. This is where most people shut down. They hear all this and say, so what? Just give up. Never have kids? Never feel joy? What a miserable way to live. So, are we saying you shouldn't have kids? No! We're saying, if you're going to bring someone into this brutal, blazing, beautiful mess, you better be damn sure you're not doing it just for you. Because here's the raw truth Benatar drags into the light. You didn't ask to be here, and no one you create will either.
The fact that many people adapt to their suffering does not show that it was good for them to have been brought into existence.
You can still laugh. You can still rock and roll. You can still love the people already here. But now, you do it with your eyes open, without pretending this is all part of some benevolent cosmic plan. You don't owe your existence a thank you card, but you owe yourself honesty. And once you've got that, you get to break the cycle. Not out of hatred, not out of depression, but out of something way more rare. Compassion with teeth. You were dragged into this. No map, no warning, no way out. And still, you're expected to smile, reproduce, and pretend it's all okay. But now, you've seen the lie. You've felt the splinter. And once you know, you know. So here's the dare. Don't justify it. Don't dress it up. Don't hand the same wound to someone else and call it love. No more spiritual Stockholm syndrome. No more calling this chaos a gift just because someone gave it to you with love. You didn't start this, but now you see it. And that's not freedom. It's something sharper.